Review Board of the Town of Southampton now come to order. The Architectural Review Board, and welcome to the April 4th, 2023 meeting. Ms. Doyle, the ARB attorney, will you read the legal regulations for our hybrid board meeting?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Good morning. In accordance with the Town Board's adoption of Local Law Number 14 of 2022, the board's meetings are being held both in here at Town Hall, in person, and by a video conference through Zoom webinar. The link to participate in this meeting via Zoom can be found on the town's website at the Town Clerk's Agendas and Meetings portal. You can also watch the live stream video and submit written comments through the town website. For anyone attending via Zoom, if you wish to speak during the meeting, then click the raise hand icon so our moderator can grant you access to participate in the meeting. If you are here in person, when your application is called, you can come up to the table if you'd like. There are microphones up here. And as a reminder, just please state your name and hamlet of residence for the record. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Doyle. Mr. Rump, the Vice Chair, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Rump.
Very welcome, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Jankowski, the Board Secretary, would you please perform the role?
Yes. Mr. Tagliavia?
Here.
Mr. Burke?
Here.
Mr. Rump?
Here.
Myself and Mr. Chairman via Zoom.
Soon.
So we do
Yeah.
have a quorum.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Do the board members that were present review the minutes of the March 7th, 2023 meeting?
Yes.
And were there any errors or omissions?
None.
On the
None.
record,
If there are
sir.
no errors or omissions, do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
And do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion is made and seconded to approve the minutes of the March 7th, 2023 meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Thank you. Any old business to come before the board before we start the agenda? If none, then we'll proceed with the published agenda. The first on the agenda is a sign application, M&T Bank, 168 West Montauk Highway, Hampton Bays. Mr. Rump, since would you take the lead on this application, or you
Sure.
want me to? Either one.
No, that's fine, Mr. Chairman. I know where it is
Thank you.
and I have to look at it. Just looking at that elevation, first time I looked at it, I thought the font might be a little big, you know?
Yep.
I like the fact that, they're not advertising the drive-up ATM.
Because you can see.
Right, because you can see it. So I'm wondering if that M&T Bank could be reduced by 25% or so.
Okay.
That's just my thoughts. I don't know what the other board members think.
Okay, Mr. Rump, thank you very much for your comments. Mr. Jankowski, comments?
I'll agree with Mr. Rump. We can just reduce that by 25%. I think it just fits in that spot better.
All right. Mr. Burke, comments?
No, I agree with Mr. Rump.
Okay, Mr. Tagliavia? comments?
Is there an applicant present here?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, come on.
Just want to,
Good point.
Okay, and Mr.
one second,
Tagliavia?
they're coming up, the applicant's coming up to the table.
You can sit at the table. if you
I agree with the rest of the board. I feel it's a little large compared to the old sign in terms of the font. I think 25% reduction would look nice.
Okay, thank you. And before I give my comments, I'd like to have the applicants, any comments from the applicants on this sign?
We're just proposing here just quarter-inch thick aluminum letters. They're going to be painted with a green M&T. And we have a sample here if you'd like to take a look at it.
Great.
Yeah, looks good to me.
It might just be the picture then, like, as if that's it.
Yeah, that's the thickness and everything of the letters. That's the size of the letters as well.
Well, I can't tell if that's the actual size of the letter that's gonna be installed.
It is.
Then the graphic that you're showing us, to me, is a little large.
I think so too.
So, and I don't know what that means, or,
On your paperwork
It's the
there.
same one,
it-
yes.
It's what we're looking at, so it doesn't actually have, like, what that measurement is, right? Which it looks like it's probably 12 inches.
It says
This,
1'4".
Yeah, 1.4.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just for the record, I know what, excuse me, didn't mean to interrupt. So my name's Mike Hyman with M&T Bank. Address is 180 South Clinton Avenue, Rochester, New York.
Mhm.
And this young lady is, just for the record,
Yeah.
is from Valley Signs.
What was your first name?
Mary Al.
Okay, any further comments from the applicants?
Yeah, so it's Mike Hyman from M&T Bank. I do agree with what you guys are saying in regards to the size of that. It looks a little out of place, and in talking to our brand manager before I come in, we're willing to reduce that in size if that truly is what it's gonna look like on the building. It's just too big for there, and it's look like it's being forced into that.
well, this is the sign, Mike. That's what it looks like, and to me, the graphic that we're being given is almost twice or 1.5 the size of this. So if this is the M and the size of the font, I think fitting in that space will be fine.
I do, seeing it like that, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm thinking too. I don't know
Yeah.
what the height of that gable is, where that M is, but I don't think it's 1'4".
Well, if you look at the 10'5" height,
Right?
and what is that?
13.7.
Yeah, so it's 13.7, so you've got, a foot
3 feet.
or 16 inches in there. So there's over 3 feet, so I think that'll be, I think the graphic is off.
That's all, yeah, so,
Okay.
Okay, one of the suggestions I'm gonna make on this before, well, my comments are gonna be the same as the board. Since Mr. Rump and I were integral in doing and writing the sign code, we came upon this as a gable, and the biggest problem we found was that too many of the signs within the gable tried to make the sign too large, and then it made the whole proportion not pleasing. And so that's why I totally agree with the rest of the board on this and Mr. Rump. What I'm going to suggest is you submit drawings to Mr. Rump with the sizes. And if you can scale it correctly, and then we can do a conditional approval, and then Mr. Rump can do the final approval.
Yeah, that's
That'd be great.
Do you agree with that?
Sure. Well, I do. I'm available to do that, and I think the applicant is shaking their head yes. so-
Yes.
You are.
Okay, fine, why don't we do this then? We can vote on it, and it be subject to Mr. Rump's final approval with the dimensions and the correct scaling.
Would you like me to move that, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, please.
All right, I make that motion.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded on Mr. Rump's motion to be the final review on this when they submit a more accurate drawing of that sign, M&T Bank, in the gable. And the rest of us will give the conditional approval, and he'll be the final approval on it. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? None. So it's carried, it's that. So thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Do we have to look at
One
this
more
sign
sign.
too?
Yeah, there should be one more.
Yeah, it's another sign too, yep.
Okay, so these have to be done individually. Correct. Okay, Mr. Rump, if you don't mind, would you handle this also?
Sure. We're looking at it. Are you seeing the sign as well, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. I don't have an issue with this sign, the way it's presented.
Okay, fine. Mr. Jankowski, comments?
No issues, and the number's already on there.
Okay. Mr. Burke, comments?
No comments.
Mr. Tagliavia, comments?
No additional comments.
And my comments are, I totally agree with Mr. Trump on this. Do I hear a motion to approve on this?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the, this is a monument, I believe, sign.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's going to be in the front of the building. All those in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Aye.
Any opposed? None. It's carried.
great.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you very
All right,
much.
thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Have a good day, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks, appreciate it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So as soon as you get that back,
Yes, I will
Bill,
send it over.
the building department will let me know, and I can
Okay.
come in and approve it.
All right,
Perfect.
thank you,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, next is a site plan review, Southampton Cottage LLC in Tuckahoe. Mr. Rump is the lead board member on this application,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe they sent the drawings, so.
All I have is the
Yeah,
plan shown here.
the only thing that that I saw was the plan, there were no elevations.
No, I didn't see anything
And
besides this.
no landscape plan, which I think is necessary because of its proximity to Shrubland Road.
Is he on Zoom? Only because he said he was going to attend.
Oh.
Who's he?
Jet, I forget the last name.
All right.
Oh, Sabana Cottage, no, I'm sure, Joe Lamarty, I believe is Sabana Cottage.
Is that, that's from Joe Rayner's office?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rayner's office.
Is he on Zoom?
I mean, I don't know, Charlie, is Joe Lombardi with his hand up? Does he want to get in on this? Do you know?
No, Brian DeSisto's here, but.
All right.
Yeah, if there is no one, then let's hold this over
Yep.
until the next meeting.
You got it.
And for more drawing,
More info.
well, a landscape plan and more detailed drawings.
Shall we communicate that with the applicant somehow?
We need to.
Yeah,
Yes.
I believe,
I spoke
Here.
to him, he's usually really.
Yeah, me too.
He said he's gonna attend, and he usually is
Yeah,
really
yeah,
good
yeah.
with this,
Yeah.
so I'm not so
Okay.
sure what happened.
So can you, Carrie, communicate with them of what we need and, great, thank you.
yeah, Ms. Meyer does that very efficiently.
Landscape and elevation.
Yep.
Okay, next on the agenda, then is another site plan review, and this is an administrative review that we have to vote on. It's Windward at Southampton, AKA Bentley Motel, and this is in Shinnecock Hills, and Mr. Rump, you're the lead board member on this.
Mm-hmm.
A little busy today.
Yeah, that's okay. Is there the applicant
Yeah,
available?
is there an applicant present for this?
No.
We had two people show up. What are you here for?
28 Shrubland.
Oh, the
That's
Sabana
Sabana.
Cottage.
Sabana Cottage? All right.
You want to wait?
Well, we're in the middle of one. We just pushed it over because you weren't here, so we can reopen that when
Okay.
we get finished with the agenda.
Perfect, thank you.
So if you go back to the site plan, Kelly,
Mhm.
I'm trying to figure out where that new structure is going. I looked at this before and I don't know where they call it an office, so I don't know where it's being put.
Let's see. You have
There.
office here, is it right here?
Yeah, but if you go to the elevation,
Looks a little bigger, maybe.
Oh, this is right behind the gas station.
Office.
Yeah.
The road comes
yeah,
together.
yeah,
You need-
it's up on the hill.
Right.
Yeah, it looks like an addition, doesn't it?
I'm confused. So I guess if we go back to the site plan, does it say proposed office, or is that proposed office for
Proposed
Bentley Hotel?
Oh, in front of the pool, then that's where the bushes are. Is that it right there?
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It doesn't say proposed, but
it doesn't say proposed, so I
Hard
don't
to
know
read.
what
Yeah,
that
go on
means.
Satellite, see, there's
Yeah.
nothing.
but it must be this because it has the office there.
Yeah,
It looks like there's an arrow pointing to it, maybe scroll out a little bit, going diagonally across those parking spaces.
Well, look, since this is an administrative review, this had to be from.
Oh, here we go.
one of the planners.
Sorry.
Yeah, is there
Yeah.
a planner,
New-
Carrie?
New
It
1,000
was
square foot.
Claire, but she's not here, she's away. But I did speak to the applicant, and he said he was going to be here, so.
Okay,
Okay.
so what, Mr. Chairman, what would you like to do? The applicant's not available.
I kind of.
Yeah, and this is, since this is in your area, I would like to wait until the applicant is here to fully explain it, because I'm with you, I don't understand this drawing.
Yeah.
It looks like it might be an addition, and is it or isn't it? And,
Yeah, it has new 1,000 square foot office here off to the side.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Yeah, new.
No, that's where it is, okay.
Well, that's
So
the,
that's, you know, nobody really sees this.
right,
Because it's elevated off of County Route 39.
right.
And then, you know, the view from Hill Station Road is minimal.
Can you put
You can
that
go to
in the
G-
Google, just to see the GIS? You'll see where there was bushes in front of the pool.
Yeah.
Hill Station
And what about the landscape along the, trying to
You know,
think.
what are they gonna do with the rest of those bushes in front of that pool?
Right.
Oh, yeah. There.
Road. Okay. So here's County Road 39.
Yeah, and then Hill Station
Hill
Road,
Station
up
Road.
in that one corner right there where you were.
All right. And
You
the pool.
see
And see, because of the gas station on the corner
the street view.
and the landscaping in front, I agree with Mr. Rump, I don't think you're gonna see it.
I know.
No.
I don't know why I came up with this.
That's pretty.
Can you zoom down just to see,
Oh, it
like,
started right inside here. Let me see if I can get over here. There we go.
I'm glad you're doing that, Kelly.
I didn't even know there was a feature.
So this is
That's along the road.
Hill
There's
Station
right?
Road. You look
Can you go
over.
into the parking lot? Because you made
Yeah.
it all the way to the pool. That was pretty cool.
So we go in.
Yeah, no, we can't.
Oh, well, let us in there.
Yeah, you won't be able to
Yeah.
even see the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See if we can go to County Road 39, just to show you that.
Get one over
So you can, that's not the new building though.
there. No.
Hmm. It's existing,
Yep. So it's kind of like where those.
Yes,
and then you
yeah,
have
this
bushes.
is it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably behind those evergreens and
Yeah.
those deciduous trees. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's up,
Look,
it's up
we
high.
can, my suggestion on this is that we can make the stipulation that the landscaping remains and that the materials and everything match existing.
Exactly, it's only administrative.
Yeah,
I agree with
And we
that.
can, you
yeah,
know,
let's do
I don't
that.
think there's a reason not to approve it,
Right.
All
but
right.
that's my opinion at this point.
Can we just see the elevations again, Tony, when you're
Yep.
done driving around?
Let's see. So,
Full siding, horizontal, vinyl. Looking at the elevations, Mr. Chairman, it doesn't mention to match existing. But
It does?
it does not,
Oh, well, we can put that in the motion,
right.
but the design of it somewhat resembles the rest of the buildings.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so, can I have your final?
Yeah, I have no issues with this application as presented, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, fine. Mr. Jankowski?
No issues, I agree.
Okay, Mr. Burke?
No issues, just stipulate about the landscaping.
And to match existing?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Tagliavia, comments?
I have no issues, and I also don't have an issue, even if they're not matching existing siding, as long as it's something presentable. You know, even if they want to have some kind of difference in materiality, I'm still okay with it as submitted.
Okay, as long as it's harmonious then?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Well, all right, do I hear a motion to approve?
All right, I'll make the
with
motion.
stipulations?
Yeah, I'll make the motion to approve as presented with the stipulations that the existing landscape remain and that the materials shown are harmonious to the two existing buildings that are on site.
Okay, great. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Motion is made, is seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Okay, and before we get to the substantial residential, I heard that there is someone that came in
Mm-hmm.
from Savonic Cottage.
Yes. You want to hear that application now?
Yeah, I'd like to before we get to the substantial residential.
Okay. Would you come forward and join us at the table, please?
And Mr. Rump, you're the lead for the
Mhm.
area,
Yep.
so would you give the board your comments and decision on this application?
Yep.
Okay, come on up, just state your names.
Just state your
For the
names.
record.
Yeah, we have micro, you can sit if you like. Go ahead.
Leo Cruz from Cruz Brothers Construction.
And Holly Lenardi.
Do you have elevations? We've gotten an electronic submission, but we did not have any elevations of the building as well as any landscape plan that might be considered for the property?
Okay, I don't think we've gone as far as getting the landscape plan yet. That's
Okay.
on John Lombardi's scope.
Okay,
So I would not be able to present the landscape part of it.
okay.
But we have, I guess you guys do need to see floor plans, correct?
The elevations, yeah, if you could.
Sure.
And then a statement of the materials, or typically we like to see, kind of touch and feel the materials that we look at.
We dropped off the box with the samples.
Okay.
Uh,
Are they in the building department?
They were given to the Reynolds group.
Oh, they were given to Joe.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm just gonna
And
check my office real quick when you talk.
okay,
All right,
yeah,
thanks, Terry.
because he was given and they confirmed that they gave them to you guys. Yeah.
All right.
So this is gonna be a basically metal building, like one of those what you call.
Can we see where that is?
Do you have the Google
I'm
on that,
sorry,
too?
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No.
So I can zoom out here.
Oh, that's right by
This is
the-
County Road 39,
Yep.
shrubland.
So that's the other, there's a motel to the right,
Sorry.
Correct.
and then,
And then there is a big office in the front.
yeah, the big office in the front, and then that's a little retail, or a little,
Yeah, there's a couple
Yeah.
shops in there.
couple shops in there. Okay. And what is the zoning on the property now?
It's R20, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if we have that. Oh, no, zoning is HB.
The highway business, that's what I
Yes,
thought,
highway
okay.
business, yes.
And what's the existing use there now?
Right now, they have a rental house, basically a little tiny rental house.
Okay.
It's a little shack, yeah.
Oh, great, thank you, Ken.
So we're looking to use Anderson 400 series windows, black, and this would be a combination. This would be the roof, and this would be the siding.
Okay.
Cameras are gonna
Would
be-
you be able to just pass those, or just
Sure.
maybe hand it to Mike?
Do you want the little copies?
Yeah, if you have some.
Yeah.
If you have some.
Where are they? 18 minutes, 17. Mhm. Okay,
Oh, great.
give me that.
And what's the anticipated use of the building?
So this is gonna be basically for trade use, either electrician, plumber, you
So
know,
it's a
when-
specialty
Storage?
contractor.
Contract, yeah.
Storage then, is that what we're doing?
Correct, yeah,
Garage doors?
storage and garage door, yeah, so it'll be basically.
I see it now.
Built to, you know, the idea is that we're gonna build the shell, and then it's gonna be, once we find the right tenant, it'll be customized to their needs.
So let me see, is there a site plan with this?
Is that black metal or railing?
This will be the railing.
The railings.
Yeah,
Would
there's
you-
a little section of railing.
Thank you, Ken.
Up here.
So the building's gonna be to the east of the site.
Kind of where that house is right now,
Right.
Correct, yeah.
Right,
and then that's all gonna be parking.
okay,
Single in, single out,
right.
no access to 39.
The existing structure is being demolished?
I think it
Yes.
has to be, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, as of right now, we're only having access from Shrubland.
Right.
So the garage doors that are shown on this elevation are facing to the south side of the lot, which is interior, correct?
Correct, so
Okay.
basically the back of the existing building
Right.
and the back of the new building, they'll be facing each other.
Mhm. And then this would be the elevation that's facing the road.
But that office house is in front of it, you won't, I don't know if you end up seeing it.
That is
right?
correct,
From
yes.
from Shrubland, I'm sorry.
From
I'm
Shrubland,
going
yeah.
looking at that
You're not
from-
gonna look at this because that's that office
Is
building.
in front of it.
Right.
Mhm.
I think you're gonna need to do some screening along shrubland,
Okay,
all right? So we'd like to see that plan,
okay,
if we could. And there look like there's some existing trees there now, so there's a, maybe probably, it looks like an oak tree on that, north, east corner right there, that would, if you could maintain that, keep that.
we
And then,
would
some-
try, I just need to see where the septic is going.
Well, and it would be nice,
If we
if
can
the
work
septic
around
is
it.
going there, just show that on the site plan,
Okay.
all
yeah.
right?
I believe, what is that?
It says proposed
From Joe-
bollards.
From Joe, from the Rainers Group, do we have anything else in there?
This is all I have.
That's is all we got, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at this morning.
What does that say right there where the cursor is?
Is proposed bollards.
Oh,
And I don't know if that's around because it's an IA system, most likely.
okay,
Mhm.
so
So
then that's what that would be,
so
so that
it's-
you don't run it over. Okay.
Right. So I
And that
think,
tree-
I think we might be able to work around,
Right.
saving that tree, yeah.
yeah, I would just show it on the site plan, so that
Okay.
when it's recorded, everybody knows what's happening.
Okay,
But the landscape plan, I think, is important.
yeah, which is being developed
Okay.
by.
What do you think, like green giants along the road or something?
Yeah,
Something
some
like
kind
that.
of,
Green giants. Okay, evergreens.
yep, some evergreen, screening.
Okay, does that conclude your comments, Mr. Rump?
Yes, it does, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Rump, Mr. Jankowski, comments?
I agree with the lead.
Okay, Mr. Burke, comments?
Nothing additional.
Excuse me?
No, nothing additional. Nope.
Okay, nothing additional. Mr. Tagliavia, comments?
Are there there's no residences across the scrubland, are there? I'm just worried about the roof being reflective. And maybe we could make a stipulation of having a non-reflective roof surface.
Yeah, we
Since they're-
usually do, so
Yeah.
it'll be a matte finish, I'm sure. It
Yeah.
looks like it's a
Yeah.
matte finish
Yeah,
now,
yeah, this
I don't
is,
think we made it.
Okay.
and it's dark.
And then what are those other two samples that you have?
this is just the gutter, but it will match this color, right?
Uh-huh.
And then the decking, so we're staying in the blacks and grays and
Okay.
integrate a little bit of tan in there, to soften it up a little.
Yep, I have no further comments.
Okay, thank you. And, I agree with the lead for the area. There's one comment I want to make to the applicant. When you do come before this board, all drawings, samples, and everything else should be digital. And it's not that difficult to do. You can go to a print house as long as you have a disk and, flash drive or whatever. And get it done for like $20 a sheet. They'll scan it for you.
Yep.
Then you can hand that off. Because in this situation, I couldn't hardly see anything that you had in the landscape plan should definitely be scanned.
Okay.
So we'll hold this over, if there's no objection, to the next meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we have to present the landscape plan, basically. That'll be the only
Well,
condition.
Mr. Chairman, do you want, if we're fine with, the samples and the architecture, they could submit a landscape plan and I can look at that so they don't have to come back, if that's something that you would entertain.
Yeah, I just mentioned that if he wants to come back and present it, if not, you can look at the landscape plan.
Yeah,
For that area.
There's no issue with
Yeah.
landscape go after.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think
just that-
I don't think they want to come back and see us, we haven't
Yeah.
mistreated them, but.
It's pretty cool coming here.
I smell
So-
good.
So-
But no, I would make a motion.
And, it's a transmittal letter, after Mr. Rump makes his, determination, after looking at the landscape plan, a transmittal letter will be forwarded, to the planning board.
Yep. I think that's what, I think that would kind of move the process along and not have them,
Okay.
have the applicant come back in 2 weeks to see it, so.
Okay.
Yeah, fine, either way, doesn't matter, yeah.
All right.
All right?
Sounds good.
Okay,
Thank you very
thank
much.
you.
Thank you very much
Thank
for your
you.
time.
Thank you.
Thank
Yep,
you.
have a good day.
This stay with you?
You can actually give it back to Carrie if you wouldn't mind. Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda is the substantial residentials.
No,
We have
that's a,
19,
transmittal.
uh,
So.
Delfield Road, Street,
So when we see
Fly-off.
we just need
Is the applicant present to present this?
Yes, they are.
say.
Yeah, they are.
And Mr. Jankowski is the board member on this application. Would you give the board your comments and decision on it?
You see them in the meeting. Thank you.
Right? Just, for the record, just state your name and,
David Lance.
Joe Deppie.
yep. Thank you, gentlemen. Do we have any digital elevations?
No.
Okay.
Would you like me to open up the plan?
Yeah, no, we were just trying to make sure that the chairman saw him because he's,
Finally, I get one.
finally.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about this one. I mean, I should have got
The
it
front of the house, right here. Have you seen the plans yet?
No.
Is that, oh, okay, I
No.
thought you guys would get it from the building department. So there was a house on the property
Is there a survey or,
that was demolished.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's a site plan, well, you can see my site plan.
You want to see the house, say what was existing.
I
Mhm.
have a photograph of it.
So that's been demoed at this point?
It has been. It was deemed
Yeah.
structurally
This
not
this is
sound.
what was there,
Uh-huh.
and we were going to do a renovation, and then we discovered that it really wasn't in good shape, didn't have a foundation, it didn't, had a, looked like it had a foundation.
Thanks, Dave.
Wasn't substantial.
Mhm.
There was a lot of rot, so the owner decided to knock it down. We're gonna do
Kim, can
something
you
that
just
sort of looks like
Zoom
this.
out for a second?
Yeah.
Okay, Turkey Brick, all right, now I got where you are.
Yep.
If
All
you
right.
know the area, it's the house that had a stucco wall around the perimeter of the property.
Yep,
Okay, I know where you are now.
yep.
So, we had submitted a permit to do the renovation and got a permit to do it. And then after we started digging up the foundation, found out that it really wasn't substantial. We got a permit to demolish the house and to rebuild, but we are rebuilding within the existing footprint of the old house and doing a new house that's similar in size and character.
A little simplified.
So we're going to change the materials. The existing house has a stucco, like one of those,
Let's drive it.
Ethos,
Ethos
yeah.
system. So we're gonna do a PVC shingle, like, it's gonna look just like Perfection shingles. And we propose to do a gray.
And what are these are pre-dipped already, just like that?
Yeah, it's actually all plastic, you know?
Really?
Yeah, it's
That's a
all
PVC.
PVC,
So no maintenance.
no maintenance.
I think it's 25-year warranty on the finish.
And when you see
You
these
just
things
clean it.
in place, they look gorgeous.
Wow, that's interesting.
And then they want to do this type of roof, but in the gray color.
Mm-hmm.
So another thing that's no maintenance. The windows are going to use Marvin with a white finish. And any exterior, like lighting or hardware, is going to be brushed stainless or brushed nickel. So that's the general feel for what we're going to do.
All right, keeping the same footprint, what's your, and you keeping most of the mature landscaping that was gonna be on there?
Yeah, whatever we
Really
can
not even-
keep.
What was around the house is gone, but everything else
Right.
has stayed. The perimeter of the property is completely untouched.
Did you keep the stucco wall too? Able to go
Stucco
in and
wall
out?
is there, yes.
Okay, are you
Yeah.
keeping
I
it?
think, yeah, we're keeping it, but I think we have to widen the gates a little
Yeah.
bit.
That was
Okay,
a
yeah, just to get the
stipulation
trucks
on
and
permit,
stuff
yeah.
in?
Well, for fire trucks, yeah.
They don't conform with the
So
code.
be in front of you with a gate application, so.
And then we have a cable rail system, which we're gonna have something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Unless you have
Is
questions.
there a way we can hold this elevation up for Michael to see?
Have a camera somewhere?
It's behind.
I'll go,
Yeah.
just lifted
I'll go hold it up.
Just lift it up?
Just lift it like where, the way it's facing us too, Charles, that'll work?
Lift it up.
Okay. Look at this technology.
Can you see it?
Can you see, Mr. Chairman?
No, I cannot
your left
use
hand.
the camera.
Where's the
Take your
camera?
left hand and turn, no, the other way.
Yeah,
This
there's
way.
the
There
gate.
you
Yeah,
go.
that-
Yeah, this way,
Okay.
yeah.
Just like that.
And lower it a
Just
little.
like that.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem, I mean, if the lead for the area has no problem, yeah, it looks fine to me.
I don't have any issues, Mr. Chairman, it's, they're doing an improvement to what was there, so it looks nice.
We just wanted to include you in the,
Yeah, we just wanted to show you, so you know what we
Mr.
were,
Chairman.
Okay,
what we thought was
yeah, thank
okay.
you, I was gonna have to rely on your judgment on this anyway, so. Okay, Mr. Jankowski, does that conclude your comments?
But yeah, I have no issues, and I'll recommend approval, as
Okay.
submitted.
Mr. Rump, comments?
I have no further issues.
Okay, Mr. Burke, comments?
No issues.
Okay, Mr. Tagliavia, comments?
No comments.
Okay, and I agree with the lead for the area. And, okay, do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion to approve as submitted.
Okay, and do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, great. The motion has been made and seconded to approve as submitted. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you, guys.
fellas, for coming in. So
Thank
what
you,
happens
gentlemen.
with these residentials, it's because it makes, once we get above a certain square footage, it has to come before all of us. So that's how come we can't singly sign off on it. So that's the only reason for it.
No problem. Yeah, it's the first time I'm doing
And then
it.
you listen to the other thing about being digitally submitted, which
Yeah, I heard that.
you have them,
Which I
because
have,
obviously
yeah.
you got them printed.
I could've-
So now it's just a
You could've
matter of
done it
like
from the office.
email.
Who do I give it to?
The same email address that we would have for, that you're giving these to for like the town. Do we
I
have,
can
is
find
it
out
the
in
building
future.
inspector, whomever?
It would be Carrie.
Okay, so Carrie.
Yeah.
So Carrie's email, and then this way then we can look at it.
Great.
Everybody can look at it.
Okay.
Is that for this one, now, or?
No,
just for-
No,
Yeah,
you
in the
guys are
future.
good for now.
Okay.
It's just a matter of like,
Yeah.
the next time, because you were probably wondering like, why did we have to come in front of everybody? That's why. It's anything
No.
above 7,500
Mr.
square
Yeah, right.
square
Yeah,
feet.
you've got a busy schedule today.
Yeah.
See,
Have a great day.
thank you.
Okay.
Say hi to Andrew.
Next on the agenda is also substantial residential, 165 Surfside Drive. And this is in Bridgehampton, and I'm the lead for that. And there is an applicant, I think, waiting.
Oh, good.
Good morning, members of the board. Brian DeSessa, attorney for the applicant. If I could screen share, I could show you the elevations and plans, if that's acceptable, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, absolutely.
Start us with this. What you should see on your board, on the screen, is the proposed residence. The property is located at 165 Surfside in Bridgehampton. It's located on the ocean. There was a previous house there that was taken down pursuant to a permit. We're proposing a new single-family home over 2 floors, which totals 8,600 square feet for the first and second floor combined. And there's a drive-under unfinished garage, which is doable since we're in the AE 18 flood zone here, which requires the property to be elevated. You see before you a rendering taken from the east, looking at the front facade. The facade is constructed of, the material is a trestle material. It's like a ceramic material, but the colors are a dark charcoal and an eastern red cedar, aligned in vertical and horizontal plankings. The windows are a black framed window, and the property faces, this is facing the northern side. Let me screen share one new share to give you, this is the perspective from the other side. So there's landscape in the front. There's a little bit of an elevation due to the fact that we're going to have to include a small retaining wall similar based on the health department requirements to keep the new IA system a safe distance or required distance from groundwater. Stop me along the way if there's any questions.
Okay, one of the questions I have
Yep.
on this. Okay, now, this is the left side.
This is the, yes, this is the eastern elevation.
Okay, eastern elevation, okay. Do you have the western elevation?
I do. One second. Yes.
Okay. And would you go up to the other, as you, the one just prior to this?
Absolutely.
This one right here. This is the rear elevation.
This is the southern elevation, that's correct.
Southern elevation, this is facing the ocean?
It is, sir, yes.
Yes, that's what I figured. I just
Yes.
clarifying all this. I see you have a third story.
There's not a third story. Those are bulkheads for a stair and an elevator, which is pursuant to the code and building permit.
Right, I know it's allowed because it's an elevator, but my concern is this going to be a privacy issue because of the roof deck? You know, from the adjacent buildings.
I don't think so. If you go down Surfside, most of the house to the west has a roof deck, the house to the east has a roof deck, the house to the north has a roof deck viewing tower. So the area does have that roof deck area for the views on all of the adjoining houses. I can't recall if the house directly north does, but where this is set, the bulkhead and stair exits that you're seeing here are on the north side of the building. So any activity from a homeowner would be on the southern side of the building, so anyone on the north would be screened. The distances from the sidewall maintained in the pyramid are at least 24.5 feet from the east and the west. And then the railings are set in 4 feet pursuant to the code from the building department. So in terms of privacy or otherwise, I think that will be limited and not an issue.
Do you have landscaping on the sides?
There is, Yes, there is landscaping down the side, Steve. I can get you a landscape plan which would show that. It's not trees up to the second floor, but from the view perspective looking down, it would cut that view. I can submit that at a later date landscape plan.
Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna mention, I designed a house not far away from this one, and you're right, we had a roof deck also on it, but we were quite a distance away from the adjoining properties.
I can tell you too, just the property specifically to the east is south of the coastal erosion. On this redevelopment, we moved north, so that further separates these two. If you look at I can't pull up GIS on this, but if you look at the aerial, the houses and how they're located, situated on the east and west, would provide for additional privacy as well.
Yeah, so you're not directly in line with us.
Correct.
Correct, yeah.
They're staggered, basically.
That's what we did also, stagger it a little. Okay, I don't have any issues with it, and I don't know, I mean, most of the time, if you're gonna landscape it, you're going up to the first floor, you're not gonna definitely go to the second, because I don't believe, I can talk to Mr. Rump, but I don't believe the soil there would actually sustain anything that tall. Would they, Mr. Rump?
It would also, it's more the wind. You know, you never see a tree that's maybe more than 20, 22 feet tall on the ocean because of the wind and the environment there. So it's, you basically, as you said, Mr. Chairman, it's screening the first floor.
Yeah. Okay, and as far as the materials, they're similar to a lot of the materials that are in the area.
Right.
And the drawing, I don't think, is a clear representation of what that redwood would actually look like. Because it's not, on the ocean, that's not going to be that brown, I don't believe, or tan.
I can drop off a sample of that since it's man-made. It would maintain the color, but
Oh, you're gonna man-made?
Yes, it's a Tresco material, so the color is, it doesn't weather. It stays at that color is how that Tresco material is manufactured.
Okay. All right, well, I don't find that much objectionable to it also. So, I mean, I recommend approval on this. Mr. Rump, comments?
I have no issues, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jankowski?
No issues.
Okay. Mr. Burke?
No issues.
And Mr. Tagliavia?
No other comments.
Okay, thank you. Do I hear a motion to approve as submitted?
I'll move that.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion is made and seconded to approve as submitted. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Okay, that's it. It's approved.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you,
Thank
Brian.
you.
Thanks, Brian.
Okay, is there any other business to come before the board?
I have nothing.
None.
Nothing?
I have
Okay, do I hear a
some
motion to adjourn?
Hang on.
I have some suggestions about the submittal process. I don't know whether you want to do that online or offline.
Well, I'd rather do it online if it is ARB business, yes.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, do we set a deadline and have Kerry check on these applications and submittals that they do have all of the digital files in before we allow them to be on the agenda?
Okay, Mr. Tagliavia, that is what we had actually done in an organizational meeting, I believe, last year. Mr. Jankowski, correct me if I'm wrong.
We requested that would happen because we're starting this whole digital thing. So it's what we want. I guess it's just a matter of a reminder when we have to have the substantials. That's where it's a little bit different, it seems, right now.
Okay, fine. Yeah, so thank you, Mr. Tagliavia. We did mention this before, and I'm totally for it.
I think Kerry's so organized that maybe you can implement it a little better.
This is what I do. So I get a referral, and before I actually place them on the agenda, I call them and speak to them. And they tell me, yep, they're all good, yes,
Can you
put me on
come
the
up front?
agenda, blah, blah, blah.
Can you come up and sit with us,
I forgot we were
Yeah.
still
please?
talking.
Thank you.
She's part of it. Carrie, you're part of this group.
So when I call them, I ask them if they're gonna be prepared to be on the next agenda, and if they're not, then I say, okay, this is the next date, do you want them on the next date, da, da, da. That's what I usually do. They tell me yes, da, 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 and then I send you guys off the finalized agenda. And then I email them, they get a reminder, it has to be submitted right the Friday before or whatever,
Mhm.
and it's, they do or they don't, like, I don't know, like,
Yeah.
how many times to
Maybe,
talk to them, you know?
yeah, maybe we don't put them on the agenda unless we see
But
their
the thing
digital
is
files.
I'm asking them beforehand if they're ready,
Mhm.
and then I'm putting them on the agenda, and then I'm sending you guys out the final agenda, and it's gotta get uploaded onto the, our website. So at
Mhm.
some point, that agenda has to go up.
Mhm.
And then, I mean, if you don't get them, we can say that they're off the agenda, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no other way to keep taking it on and off the
Mhm.
website, because now everything is in minute track. So, but if they don't have something to you guys beforehand, you could just say they're off the agenda.
Yeah.
Well, the ones that we do have, right, and we have this digital stuff,
Mhm.
do you get that?
I'm supposed to get it. It's not, in the email that I say send it to me and or Kelly.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, because you have it, so that's the check,
Mhm.
really.
Yeah.
They can tell you that they have everything, but somehow,
Right.
somebody's getting these.
Yes, at some point they're sending it to me. and
Right.
I'm like, oh,
Anything
good.
that I share is what Carrie sent to me that the applicants have given to us.
Okay.
So that's what I have. Sometimes they bring other things, though, that they haven't given us. Or if they're on Zoom, they could screen share themselves.
Totally.
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
seeing that, but I'm saying
Yeah.
you have that power then, because if they didn't send it to you, you could say, you're not on the agenda, you didn't send it.
Well, what does Kelly say to this? Because it's more of a legal issue to me.
Yeah,
at
that's
this
another
point.
thing, because I'm giving them a whole week.
Right.
Like, I'm asking them, oh, you have a whole week. Do you have everything? Will you be prepared? And yes, of course,
Right.
they yes me to
Of
death.
course.
You know, so I'm like, okay, so I'll put you on the agenda, and then I finalize and I send it out. Then I send an email explaining what they need, what they have to submit, and send it to prior to the meeting. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. But that agenda is already finalized, so it's not like I can pull it, take it
I understand
off.
all that, and I get why
Right.
you have to, because it
Yeah.
has to, I'm getting all of that. I'm
Yeah.
just getting because what we're giving
I
them
also
that
don't
from
know, am I
Thursday to
able to
Tuesday.
tell them if you have it the day of? Like, send it, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I also don't know, like,
Right.
where can I draw the line and say,
I mean, I think at this point too, some applicants haven't been before the board, and like we're telling them, just like we did today, in the future. So I think it's still, even though not maybe for us because we're dealing with it more, but for some people it's still new to them, the whole digital and the Zoom. So maybe give it a little bit more time and just try to inform people.
the only thing I can also say.
Yeah, I know.
And we know she's
I'm just
asking.
going to cut in for a second, because you guys don't hear the complaints that I do. The reason they wanted digital is because when the general public is on the Zoom or they're viewing it later, they don't see it. They call up and they start complaining. They complain to Councilman Bouvier, to the supervisor, or to myself. And this is where it becomes important to have it done. But we can't throw all of this on Carrie to force them
No.
to do it. If they don't do it, we're just gonna have to hold them over, I guess.
Yeah,
When they
that,
come in, I don't know what else to do, because, I mean, she's not the enforcer in this. She can be if she wants,
The only
but
other thing that I can say is that eventually this is gonna go digital fully, 100%, so I'm not gonna get, the only way they're gonna get on the agenda is if they go on, they submit all of their stuff, and then it'll be digital no matter what. That's the only way they're gonna get on, but until that happens, I mean, I don't know how
All right,
much I
no,
can
you're
handhold.
doing everything fantastic.
Yeah,
You're sending, we know how organized you are. You're doing everything great. So then if it has to come from us, and then we decide, all right, well, you didn't submit digitally, then we can't hear you.
Right, exactly, we'll do a holdover.
So then that's it, until you send it. Then that's
Unless
what
we
we'll do.
push the deadline earlier, so Kerry has adequate time to actually review before putting it on the agenda. That's the only other way, not to make more work for you and make it impossible for you to keep track. You know, unless the deadline is pushed, and if they don't meet that
I mean,
deadline.
I can also know the day of the meeting who didn't send me something, and I
Yeah.
can call them and be like, don't bother, you're off. You know, and then you don't even have
I
to,
don't
then
know.
you can know,
I don't know if that's, Kelly, I don't know if that's
that's
your.
legally thing, yeah, like,
Yeah,
that's another
I
thing, like,
don't
I
wanna
don't
put you
know
in
how.
those-
Yeah,
Since
because
that
the
situation-
agenda's already posted.
Yeah.
So don't, so then you can simply tell us before we start, we didn't get this and this.
I don't
Right.
have a problem calling somebody and telling them they're not on the agenda.
Well,
absolutely
I don't, just don't want to put you in that position.
Right.
Because it should, it's us and.
Right, the board
we'd have
should
to go
make
with-
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
and Kelly's got to make.
We don't want you to get in trouble, that's all that is.
No, yeah, once you're on the agenda, I would say the board would have to
Hold
make the
things over.
decision.
We can
If I
say,
don't
well,
get a
why we're not gonna
hold-
hear it.
If I don't get a hold of somebody and speak to them to ask them if they're gonna be ready and can they send me the stuff, I don't put them on the agenda, you know?
Understood.
So I do,
Right.
I don't just randomly.
Because that doesn't, yeah, if they're not giving what you're supposed to, then you.
Didn't we just
you
make
have
the
all the
rule in
ability to
reverse
not.
where like 3 times and you're off?
Yeah, we're very accommodating.
We try to be.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Kelly,
Mhm.
is there a legal basis for this at all?
It's not really, I say a legal basis, it's more a matter of policy. You just, if you make a policy, you have to make the applicants aware of it. They have to know what's expected of them. And then discretion of the board. The board has discretion to hold things over or to
Okay.
hear things. So whatever you do, you just have to make it clear so people are aware of what the policy is.
Okay, that's what I think we're gonna do. Carrie, you and I will get together this week, and we'll draft a letter if need be, or because maybe what you already have will work.
I-
And then we'll run it by,
Just email me what you send
and
to them, just so then
I think
we can
that's,
reference it.
that's as much as we can do, and then we'll do it on the board. I mean, when they come before the board, if they don't have it, then we hold it over.
I think Kerry's, interaction with potential applicants is correct, and then that's the policy. So if it's, and then it gets here and they don't have the information, then it's up to us to say, to hold it over.
Mhm.
And I don't know
Right.
if it's,
Can you email us that, it's probably like a
What I sent
checklist
them.
that you
It's
send.
not a checklist, I mean, they have read the email, it's saying send, the digital renderings,
Yeah.
elevations,
Just
and
send us-
materials,
send us
pertinent, pictures, whatever pertinent to,
Yep,
what they.
send us that reference sheet, and then we'll use that as a reference sheet.
Mhm.
And then that can be our discretion for saying, this is why we're not gonna hear you.
Right, we should make it clear, and highlight it, or I don't know, it might already be like, your application will be held over if you do not submit digital copies on or before,
does,
in whatever
can I
day.
ask you a question?
Yeah, Carrie,
Yeah,
look, we'll combine, because we did this already,
Yeah.
and Moya has a copy of this
What's that?
that we outlined. We'll go over yours and mine, and then we'll send it to the rest of the board after we finalize it. Because what if the board wants to add 1 or 2
yeah,
things?
that makes sense.
And then we could make it policy. Mr. Jankowski, you agree?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Mr. Rump, agree?
The one, I agree, but I think something has to be coordinated with the building department in this
Well, that's
document.
why Moya was involved in it.
Well, there are applications that are sitting on that back desk that need full board review. And they've been sitting there for 3 or 4 weeks. So it's, and maybe at that point when they're, when they're determined that they're over 7,500 square feet, that whatever Kelly's been reading and Kerry's been kind of communicating, that piece of paper is given to the applicant as well. It's got to be, I think there's some kind of communication breakdown from the building department to us. So when you get back, I think I'd ask for you to look at that and see what that means.
Well, now you're correct in that, and I'll tell you where the communication is. It's with the front desk in the building department where Carrie's had some problems, I've had some problems. We've submitted like a list to them of what we're expecting on the applicants, what they are going to need. And they're supposed to screen it if it's over 7,500 square feet. Then they're going to need to go to the full board review and go through it. This does not account for anything that a building inspector will look at and deem he wants to send it to the board. But just standard over 7,500 square feet. And it outlines the list of what they're going to need. And they should be, at that point, the front desk in the building department should make them totally aware of this. And that will make it easier on Carrie, because we've had some difficulty with miscommunication between the building department and Carrie.
Yep.
So, I mean, I totally agree with you on all of that, Mr. Ron. And
No,
those files on the back, some of them are not complete, and some of them, I don't know why they're back there.
Okay.
Whether they don't want to come before the full board now, or there was a financing problem. I think one of them has a financing problem and does not wish to come before the board.
Okay.
So, okay, Mr. Burke, are you for this?
Yep, I agree.
Okay, Mr. Tagliavia?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Ms. Meyer?
Yeah.
Excuse me,
I'm good.
Ms. Meyer?
Yes, I'm good.
Your agreement?
Sure.
Hello?
Sure.
Oh, I didn't, your microphone might not be on.
Sorry.
Okay. And Ms. Doyle?
Yes, no, I think it's a good idea to work, like I said, it's still kind of new for some applicants, the Zoom and they don't understand that the public is watching, and that's why we need digital copies. They think they can just bring the plans, but it's hard for anyone that's watching on the computer to see. So I think it's definitely something that, we have to try to work on.
Can I
And
make a suggestion?
yes.
I do this for the village too, and what works at the village is sometimes people will bring a laptop and just log on to Zoom, and they can do their whole presentation by logging on to Zoom in the building, in here, and just share their screen, and then I can put it on the television. It works in the village. We haven't done it here, but it does work.
Right
So
from here.
Just another suggestion.
Okay.
And then it satisfies the, okay, I like that. Thanks,
Okay,
Charles.
I didn't hear everything. What was it again?
All right, so what Charles said was the applicant brings their laptop to the meeting right here. They can log into the Zoom right here
And share their screen.
and then share their screen just the way you got to see it when Brian was doing it.
And Brian as well, just like Brian, instead of being in his office,
Yeah.
he could bring his
Right.
laptop here.
Well, that we can outline in this list too. They can bring it.
Yep.
But they've got to notify Carrie that that's what they intend on doing.
Yep.
Yeah, I just wanted to give another suggestion.
Yeah, I like that. I
Right.
think
No,
it's
I
another
appreciate it,
suggestion.
Charles. Thank you. Okay, I think it was beneficial having this actually on the record and everything.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
What?
No, I was making a motion to adjourn. Are we over?
Oh, okay, I haven't finished yet. Mr. Rump, I'm going to suggest something that when Ms. Meyer and I finish with going over the lists that we have, and comparing them and getting it in there, since we might have rubbed some people in the building department the wrong way, do you mind going through the building department with it. Maybe another face, they'll be calmer with you than with me.
But if you would like me to do that, I don't have a problem doing that.
Okay, I appreciate it. Okay, somebody want to make a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.